What's up, guys? We're up in the morning, first thing. Gonna do some cardio. I'm going to try to record on my GoPro. I just always wanted to try it and post for YouTube. I want to see how the results are. So now that we're here, topic that I think that we should talk about is, should you cut weight or not? This is like a multi-pronged answer, because it's like, I have a lot of young lifters and they're always saying, oh, you know, there's a local meet going on, the USAPL South Texas Showdown, and they're like, oh, I want to cut weight. And I'm like, okay. And my biggest question is, why? Well, I want to win this weight class. And, that's understandable. That's fine. You get attached to a weight class. That's the big thing that I think that happens, is that, we grow attached to it, and like you can't see yourself doing anything else. But I think at the same time, you're doing harm to yourself if you're constantly cutting weight. And I think it's even more dangerous when you're doing it in THSPA season, because you're doing it like back to back to back to back to back. And that's not healthy. Your body it's not intended to do that. If you look at these UFC guys, yes, they have these crazy cuts. They're like, oh yeah, you can lose like 40 pounds, 50 pounds. Yeah, you can. But they do it like once a year or twice a year. And, to do it for this sport where there's no payout, like, it makes no sense. You're better off just getting stronger. Okay, now there's a difference. Okay, don't get confused. Like, let's say you're short, you're not tall, and you want to lose weight, you want to cut to be where you belong, and that's fine. That's understandable. Like me, I know I'm supposed to be at like 195 pounds. So I'm trying to lose weight so I can fit my body's frame. Because if I just keep gaining weight, I'm just gonna keep getting wider and wider, and I don't want that. I mean, I'm at a point in my life where I also need to worry about my health. Like, I can't just worry about getting stronger. It's not just about that anymore. So, anyways, to answer it, should you cut weight? I answered the first part, or with the first answer. Basically it's like, why, for what? Like, is there a bigger reason? Like, there's, you should just continue to get stronger. And the second part is it a big meet, like nationals or international? Like, that makes a big difference, okay? Because let's say you're going to a national meet, and for placing, you would place better in the weight class below you. Well, then how far are you from the weight class below you? Let's say you're only 4 pounds, 5 pounds, even 7. Like, why not cut? Well, that kind of makes sense. If you're going to place better, or possibly even win the weight class below you, then obviously, yeah, it makes sense. You should probably cut. Now, let's say that in the weight class above you, there's no one there. It's just like a reverse cut, like when your coach tells you to gain weight. And you'll place better. You'll place maybe even first in the weight class above you, because it's not as competitive. And I know that's true. A lot of the times, the 93s are more competitive than the 105s. And now even this past year, if you look at PA Raw Nationals, the 83s are somewhat more competitive than the 93s, which is insane. Like, it's just these guys are constantly pushing their bodies. So sometimes you just have to look at, who's there, who's done what, who's gonna do what, and that will help you make your decision. I think in high level meets like that, in order to qualify for like world meets, IPF meets, if that's your goal, then yes, a cut is, you should do it. And I think that the final one, like when people ask me like, should I cut weight, should I not cut weight? Do you have a medical history? Like, that's the last thing that I think about. Do you have a medical history of, some medical problems, things that, that you should probably tell people about? Like, oh, I have diabetes, or you should tell your coach about. I have diabetes, or I have liver problems, or I have gastritis. All these things, they affect the way you cut weight. You can't do it normally. You have to take other procedures, other precautions. You have to be careful. So, you have to think about it medically. Because if you don't, then you could end up in the hospital. Now, a lot of you guys, you don't really hear about it. Because they don't say much. They're embarrassed or whatever. Like, oh, I can't do the cut, couldn't do the cut. I've heard of people ending up in the hospital. Want that for anyone. So don't try to cut an exuberant amount of weight. And this usually happens when people dehydrate themselves to the point of no return, because they don't know what it's like, they don't know what it feels like, or they cut too much all at once. They don't have a protocol. I think that easiest one that I've done over all these years, like the best one, instead of completely 100% depleting yourself, the one that was like easiest on my body was the gut cut. If you do the gut cut, like I think there's points where you're hungry, you're like, oh God, I'm hungry, but it's not to a point where it's unbearable. It's not to a point where it makes you irritable. So, with the gut cut, and who is it? I think it's RP Strength or something. They have a really good video that explains how to do it. But if I were to summarize it, you basically need to have the amount of calories that you eat on a daily basis. So, like, let's say you eat 2,300, right? Or 2,400, doesn't matter. Or you're at 3,000. Like, that's your calories, your maintenance calories, that's what you're eating, like that's what you eat. And what you do is you replace those calories with protein shakes, almonds, stuff like Rice Krispies, and Oreos. And what ends up happening is that the reason you want to do this, you're still taking in the same amount of calories that you normally would. Obviously you're gonna want to take in more protein because you need to be able to recover. But your body doesn't freak out, as opposed to just completely 100% depleting yourself. Because a lot of performances suffer when you deplete yourself because you're not eating enough protein, you're not eating enough carbs, enough fats. Like, your body's not meant to do that. It's not smart. So if you're not getting enough nutrients, you're going to suffer. So that's why I think the gut cut is good, because it makes sure that you still get those nutrients, And when I was growing up, the gut cut was not a thing. Okay, it's not something that I found out about until recently, like whenever they came out with it. So when we would cut weight, obviously we would do it the unhealthy way. We would, not eat as much. We would do a lot of cardio daily, with sweatsuits on, like those sauna suits. Like, it was just like we were dehydrating ourselves like every day. It was bad. Another thing about it was kind of fun is because we would have those sauna suits on, and Excuse me. And then we would go like play basketball and like lose 4 pounds of water weight, and then just re-drink the water. Like it was dumb. Like it didn't make any sense. But nevertheless, if you cut weight, make sure that you're doing it with a professional, like a licensed professional that knows exactly what they're doing. Because you could end up in the hospital. You could end up with kidney failure. You could end up with rhabdo. Like all these things, they're life-threatening, especially if you don't know what you're doing. So, and stop trying to cut 20, 30 pounds like for when you're doing THS, PACs. I'm like, don't do that to yourself. Like it's not worth it. Like you're going to suffer strength. There's no physical way that you would still keep your strength. Like it's not going to happen. So there's my soap opera when it comes to cutting weight. I think you should just focus on getting stronger. I think that's the main thing, because that's what the sport's about. It's strength. It's not about who can cut the most weight. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna show up to weigh-ins looking like a skeleton. Like no, like that's not good. That's not healthy. Like that's not what you should promote. You should promote being strong, looking strong. But yeah, there's my soap opera. So my lifters, if you're watching this, don't ask me to cut weight anymore. Unless it's for a national meet, you know, then we'll do it the smart way, not just cut all at once. I have a lifter, by the way, who's going to nationals, and he started off at like 220 pounds. Shout out Ronnie. He started at like 220 pounds, and the boy has managed to cut all the way down to about like 185. We did it all the way since September, so I'm like, okay, well, if you want to do it by nationals, you have all this time. And he was like, okay, cool. So we let him. We got all the way down to this point, and then we're seeing that the 183s where he was cutting down to is going to be very challenging, and he already started feeling really weak. So we're like, we should probably call it. Like we can't do it. Well, he could have done it, but you know, he's within striking distance. He was like 187, I think, so he was 5 pounds over. But he was already feeling like his lips were going down. Obviously, it's going to happen when you lose so much weight. Like I told him, I'm like, you're gonna be weaker. Just how much strength you lose. And he didn't lose too much. Like he lost quite a bit, but not too much. This whole time though, we could have been pushing the 93s and probably gained a lot of strength in the process. But, you know, he did it. I gave him the tools that he needed. I told him what he needed to do. And, you know, he did it, which was great. But, I mean, we shall see. He's going to end up going to the 93s. Do it over a long period of time. Like, I'm trying to lose weight myself, and I'm not going to do it all at once. Like, I'm going to take the steps to help me lose the weight, but I'm not going to do it all at once, because if I do it all at once, I'm just going to end up crashing and burning. Going to be like, a weight loss program is not meant to happen overnight. I don't care what anyone says. Oh, if you just follow my diet template, you'll lose it overnight, or you'll lose it in 1 month. Like, please stop. Please stop spreading false information, because it doesn't happen like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got to say about weight cutting. I do have coaching. If you want to shoot me a message, follow us on Instagram. You can shoot me a message there. I'm going to try to post more videos. Maybe not daily, maybe every 2 days, every 3 days. Like my work is slowing down already, so I do have more time. I will have more time, but I kind of want to track my progress as I try to lose weight or try to improve my physique is better. I don't want to think about it as losing weight. I want to think about it as like, oh, I want to look better. I will get a before picture and an after picture so we can compare like, oh, this is where you were before and where I am now. So we'll give it till the end of summer. I think that's like a good timeline. That way we'll see, how much progress I've actually made and how strict I've been on myself. Because I think this time I'm gonna be really strict. I'm gonna go for it. All right, guys, I'm just gonna finish my walk, and then I am going to go program because I still have a lot of lifters that need their programs updated. So I will catch you on another day. Peace. Hope y'all enjoyed this video.